It's like that great scene in The Wizard of Oz where Dorothy comes out of the house and it's not black and white anymore. All of a sudden, the whole world is in color.
Well, don't forget those visors. They do come in handy when that big fireball is staring at you.
Will Smith presents One Strange Rock on the National Geographic Channel, which attempts to take a hip and modern look at the Earth and our environment around us. And joining me right now is Jerry Linenger, star and astronaut of One Strange Rock. Jerry.
Hi, Jeff. Jerry Linenger.
Jerry, I am so excited right now. I'm speaking to an actual astronaut. I'm beside myself. I'm nerding out here.
Pretty good. I had a pretty good job, Jeff, no doubt about it.
So for One Strange Rock, Will Smith narrates this series. It's kind of unconventional. It's really hip, it's fun, and it educates at the same time.
Yeah, Jeff, I think we take, myself and 7 colleagues and myself, and we kind of relate our experiences in space of how our planet looks and our appreciation of the planet. And, when you're out in space, you're removed from the planet, you come back to Earth, you appreciate the incredible complexity of the Earth, the buffering effects of the Earth, the ecosystem on the Earth, the cultures on the Earth, diversity of mankind. And so we have a different perspective on it. And I think it'll help everyone kind of step back and look at the bigger picture and maybe, broaden your perspective a little bit of how lucky we are to exist here on this planet.
All right, now, Jerry, you spent 143 days in space, specifically on the Mir space station. How's your Russian?
Я говорю много по-русски, Jeff. I talk a lot of Russian. My Russian, before I did a shuttle flight and then I had to go to Russia. I trained for about 2 years over there. Every morning it was one-on-one instruction with a Russian language teacher. Every afternoon a rocket scientist talking in Russian, and I would memorize flip charts, electric circuit diagrams of the space station, and blasted off 2 years later. I was up in a crew of 2 Russian cosmonauts and myself. They spoke no English, and we only talked to Mission Control Moscow in Russian. So my Russian got pretty good. Different skill set that I never expected I'd have to develop. I was more math, science kind of guy. But, you gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta be willing to learn and stay curious and, try that new adventures. And that's an adventure right there, learning a new language.
Jerry, I wanted to ask you, as an astronaut and as a scientist, I just feel science is under attack lately. I mean, take the Flat Earth Society. How could people in this day and age think that the Earth is flat? You've been in space. You've seen the Earth from space, and you can tell the world that it's round. What happened to critical thinking?
Yeah, Jeff, I circled the Earth 2,000 times, and trust me, it's a sphere. We live on a spaceship Earth, if you will. It's a beautiful planet out there. I don't. That is so extreme that it's almost not worth addressing. And so I kind of say, okay, if a person has that belief, I don't think I can be, logos and talk any kind of sense that will convince them otherwise. So, it's a planet. We've known it's a planet. We know that we revolve around the sun. That was a myth that had to get dispelled. So I don't understand the resurrection of that because we've already, I thought, dispelled that pretty thoroughly.
Now, Jerry, what is America's role with NASA in the future of space exploration? Elon Musk is doing his own thing over there with SpaceX and privatizing space travel and space exploration. Vladimir Putin has just announced that he wants to go to Mars too. So there's another kind of a space race, accelerating out there. But I was just trying to figure out, where is America and NASA for the future?
I think people, we talk about privatization of space, but NASA's been doing that forever. We had Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Rockwell, all the aerospace companies building, our moon rovers and everything else. So we've had the private-public relationships going. NASA basically is still overseeing a lot of things. NASA is now trying to build a more advanced spacecraft, the Orion spacecraft, that allow us to get to the moon and to Mars and places beyond. And so it is really a partnership. And yes, it is a private company, but trust me, a lot of NASA money is funding a lot of things that SpaceX does. And so it's a true partnership going. I think we didn't do it very well, to be honest. It took us about 6 years to get to this point. We've not been able to get a U.S. astronaut into space off of U.S. soil in 6 years, and we still can't do that. We're getting closer. But that's water under the bridge at this point. I think it's public-private partnership, and we are making advances, and I think the future looks pretty bright.
Now, Jerry, I'm Generation X, so I have to ask this, because I was a little kid, I drank a lot of Tang, and we always thought that is what the astronauts took to the moon, was Tang. Did you take Tang with you anytime you were up in space?
Tang in space, the old Apollo guy, John Young, I used to have dinner with him. He drove the rover on the moon and flew a couple of Gemini flights and 2 shuttle flights. The astronaut's astronaut. John told me when they first drank Tang up there, a guy got space motion sickness, which happens to about half the astronauts' first day and a half, and immediately it did not settle, let's just put it that way. And after that, no astronaut would drink Tang after that. So there's still a kind of a bug juice orange thing that I drank up there, and it was just fine. But the Tang thing didn't catch on early on as the advertisements made it look.
Jerry, thank you so much for speaking to me today. Congratulations on the new series. Thank you for your service. You're a true hero, and it's been a total pleasure.
I'll do it, Jeff. I'll come out there and take a gamble. That's what we do when we go to space to some degree, controlled risk, try to do it intelligently. But you live in a great spot on planet Earth, and great being with you, Jeff. Thank you.
All right, Will Smith presents One Strange Rock on the National Geographic Channel on March 26th. I've watched the first couple episodes. It's really good. It is excellent, so make sure you check that out. Also, for more reviews and interviews, surf on over to my website, vegasfilmcritic.com. I'm Jeff Howard in Las Vegas. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.